He officially weighed in 141.8 pounds. In 11 professional bouts, his record consists of 7 victories, including 2 wins coming by way of knockout, only 2 defeats and 2 draws. A former title challenger and ready to claim the strap tonight, he was also featured around the world as an opponent on the World Boxing platform DAZN. Ladies and gentlemen, hailing from the Space City, Houston, Texas, here is the Houston Hitman, Robert REDMOND Jr. Once again, a referee at the sound of the bell, in charge of the action, Ivan Guzman.
Junior tonight, but Wattell looks like he's in great shape showing up to this fight.
He looks in good shape. Like he's been trained real well. Mr. Johnson's a great coach, so he has a good coach in his corner. I used to work with Mr. Johnson, so I know him as well. So,
and in a title fight like this, that could make all the difference.
It could make all the difference.
Every little thing needs to go your way, and you'll take any advantage you can get.
That's right, especially when it's in that 4 corners.
You can only go in there by yourself.
Once that bell ring is on.
Robert REDMOND Jr. in the all black with Redmond across the back. As for Wattell, the black and gold. 6 rounds of scheduled boxing for the ABO 140-pound Western Championship title.
He has a long. They both have a long reach.
Both of them coming out of the orthodox stance, as well as early on in this fight, kind of trying to figure out how far each person can reach.
Well, because they reach so long, there's no telling.
Wattell listed at 5'10".
For that weight class, that's a good reach.
You've seen some guys throughout your career at that weight class that have been tall.
You can tell the difference in quality of boxing when you see guys fighting for a belt. See the last fight we just saw, compare this to that. See the difference in their stance, their head movement, keeping their hands up, they're quiet, they're getting their punches off.
There's a controlled calmness about it.
Oh, yes. Because one mistake can cost you.
Last fight with the younger guys, we saw Battenberg kind of just try to rush in each and every time to no avail to his own.
Oh.
Good right hand, though. Cracks him right on the chin.
Right.
As Redmond gets the win of that exchange.
Good right hand. Right on the chin. But he took it well, so he's in good shape.
If he wasn't awake before, he definitely is awake now. Here's Wattell. Keeping those hands low as Redmond keeping his hands high. And the training staffs, they are near the ring, but not exactly super close, so you can hear the instructions if you are sitting in the crowd and sitting where we're sitting as well. Here in round 1 of our Schedule 6 for the ABO Super Lightweight title.
So Redmond is standing right in front of him now. As long as he keep that jab on him, you don't have to worry about him coming in. But as long as, because his opponent's not really doing nothing, he's just posing.
Couple of ducks, each to left.
Yeah, he might duck to the left, to the right, but he's not throwing no punches. This is boxing. See, a whole round that went by, he ain't throw one punch.
Well, you don't need me to say it. Frank just told you the truth right there.
You can't win a title without throwing punches.
Yeah, not very many guys can win a round without throwing a punch.
Right. Less alone a belt.
How much does that have to be with nerves because it is a title fight to be in this type of situation? Is that maybe that added a little to that performance that we saw in round 1?
My outlook to that was when I was competing, I trained. I prepared myself for what I had to endure inside those 4 corners. Whatever it took to win, Frank Tate was willing to do.
I'm telling you, Frank, I think you're just special. I don't think every fighter, despite them being a fighter, I don't think every fighter thought the way that you think.
No, it takes special people for that.
And I mean, it's so difficult. And that's why you're a world-class fighter, though, because you not only have the tools, but you also have the mentality.
Right. It's something that's in you. You know, this is something I breathe. day in, day out. This is all I think about boxing.
Yeah, because I mean, when you're saying what you want to see in the ring from these fighters, it's something that you would do. Something that you would throw back.
Oh yeah, I would do it myself. You know, I wouldn't say it if I ain't gonna do it. So Mr. Johnson told his fighter to let your hands go. Now he letting his hands go. You can't hit, like I said before, you can't hit anyone if you don't throw a punch. Boxing is about punching. Football is about tackling. Basketball is about shooting. Baseball is about swinging. Boxing is the only one with the punching.
You put it so well, Frank. Put it right, hit it right on the head.
You can't win a fight if you don't punch. You can lose one.
Easily, right? Round number 2 of this ABO super lightweight title fight between Antonio WATTELL and Robert Redmond Jr. Redmond now controlling the center of the ring. He's the one that has shown the stronger of the jabs of the two.
Right. Well, he has a good right hand, but that's what it looks like he's waiting on it. You see, if you wait on the punch instead of throwing it, it might not ever come. Anticipating on waiting on it to throwing it, let it go. Let the punch go. Don't wait on it, let it go. Look where his hands, his left hand is down, just throw it over the top of it. Fake a jab and let the right hand go. Let the right hand come right behind the jab. He'll never see the right hand.
Instead, Waddle gets the better of that exchange because he was hesitant to throw that right hand. Was Redmond. And then he takes the counter. And Waddle getting into this fight.
Redmond is also taking punches himself. It's the one thing about boxing, you never know who can get hit and who's going to go down. All it takes is one punch.
And we saw that happen tonight on this card in that fight between Nelson Hampton and Jason Gonzalez. Yes.
Lights out.
Second round knockout. It was night time and it was quick. Didn't see it coming. That could happen at any time. And right now in this title fight.
See, now he's trying to smother him. He ain't gonna give him no room now. Now he's trying to smother him. See that?
And now you can hear the crowd, the chatter really starting to pick up as the punches are starting to be exchanged with heavier thuds.
Oh yeah, they're getting busy now. They're letting their hands go. Now we're at a boxing match. This is what everybody come to see. Professional boxing. At its best.
Right across the gut, swinging hands. 10 seconds left to go in the
10
round.
seconds. Let's see who's going to end up winning this round at the end. Let's see who won it. Oh.
And so far, after 2 rounds of our scheduled 6, Frank, I have to get your opinion here. It really looked like Robert Redmond might have done enough to win both of those rounds.
Yes, he did enough, just enough. Not overwhelming, but just enough to win those rounds.
What do we have to see from Waddell to kind of get back into this fight?
Mr. Johnson telling me, your son, you gotta let your hands go. I tell anybody, in order to win a fight, you gotta throw punches. If you gonna win a swimming meet, you gotta swing. Let your arms go.
But let me ask this. Like, if you're a boxer and you're hesitant to throw, it doesn't seem like those two things should go together. What would happen in a fight that would make you hesitant to throw as a boxer?
The one thing about a fighter that has a swollen head, never want to lose. That's the most important thing. They never want to lose. Everybody wanted to see Mayweather lose, but Mayweather wasn't going to let that happen.
Oh, no. He made a living off of that, that's for sure. Round number 3 here tonight from the Arabia Center. The Arabia Shrine Center in H-Town in Houston, Texas. 2 Houston fighters going at it here for the ABO super lightweight title.
LA, okay.
As Robert Redmond Jr. takes on Antonio Waddle. Waddle, again, being able to control the middle of the ring, but hasn't had much to show for that.
See, now he's throwing no punches. Again, he's right back to the same thing. He's just posing. He act like he's scared to let the punch go. Let it go. Either you're going to hit something or you're not. There you go. See, let the punch go. He hit him. look what happened.
And now he's on the attack as he has
Yeah.
Redmond in the corner. As Redmond able to turn the tables nicely
He's
as he
turning
works
the
out of
tables
trouble.
real nice. Oh, good hook. Good left hook.
And now we have a skirmish between the two as they are really starting to exchange. And Redmond has him up against the ropes as the referee, Ivan Guzman, making sure that everything's staying
Let him
clean.
go. Let his hands go. Throw some punches. Let me see something. Let me see something. Let your hands go, young man.
And he's in real trouble as he cannot get his back off against the ropes. And this is where you told me before, this is where you teach a fighter how to hold.
See? The referee saved him right there. Ref saved him.
He did nothing himself to work himself out of that situation, though, Waddle.
When this round is over with, he ought to go thank the ref. Thank you. Because he saved him.
Oh, I totally agree with you, my friend.
He saved him because he was on the ropes.
But it's more of the same. You see his hands up. He's looking, but he's not throwing his Waddle.
That was a treacherous. He had some threat on that uppercut. He didn't hit him with it. That would have landed. That would have been some damage there.
Last time out for Waddle, his fight in November 23rd, so a year ago from about this date, was a 4-round split decision to Slick Gabriel Smith here at the Arabia Shrine Center. As for Robert Redmond Jr., the last time he fought, June 21st, where he suffered a 6-round KO, his only KO loss of his career to Blair Crobbs. So I imagine.
They both had a long little layoff, so it's an even fight.
Yeah, both from Houston, both
Right.
coming off of a year layoff,
They both have something to prove.
and both going for this ABO title belt from the super lightweight division. As we come to the close of round number 3.
Halfway through the fight.
And so far, it looks like it's Redmond's fight to lose as he's been the more active of the two fighters.
Right. Redmond been more active. He's been more active. He should come out with this in this next round. He should come out throwing more punches, going to the body more.
How concerning was it that he was up against the ropes for such a long period of time and he didn't have a way out for Waddle? Does that concern you if you were his trainer?
Oh yeah, that would concern me. I asked him, "What's wrong? Why you on the ropes?" That's not what we did in the gym. You didn't do none of that in the gym. We didn't spar like that. So what's wrong now? Talk to me. Tell me what's the problem.
And that's what he's probably trying to figure out right now. Is it heavy legs? Is it a fear?
From looking at Mr. Johnson's movements, managements, that's exactly what he's probably telling this fighter. You need to let your hands go. If you want to win this belt, you need to let your hands go.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that he's 3 rounds behind in this 6-round fight.
Right.
If he wants to have a chance of putting that title belt around his waist, he's going to have to let it go.
It's hard to play catch up unless you knock him out.
We did mention that Redmond Jr. coming off of that knockout loss last time out, so it is possible.
Yes, sir. It's possible, but you have to let your hands go. You're not going to knock anyone out if you don't throw any punches.
Last time that Robert Redmond Jr. fought here at the Arabia Shrine Center, it was a 6-round TKO victory against Juan Rodriguez. His only 6-round scheduled fight that he has been able to get a knockout in. This one is scheduled for 6. And now we are starting to see a little bit more activity from Supreme Antonio Waddle.
Yes, both fighters are getting in it. They're getting into it now. They're letting them hands go.
Redmond Jr. has the most knockdowns in his career in round number 3, as he has knocked out 3 opponents in the 3rd round. As for Waddle, the Arabia Shrine Center has not been kind to him. 1 loss and 1 draw in his fights here.
See, he went back into posing now. He's not throwing punches anymore. He's just posing.
Did get out of the way of that right, sweeping right cross.
He got out the way of that one. Trust me, there's more to come. There's more to come. He baiting him up right now. Then all of a sudden, bam, make on the right hand.
Redmond looks so comfortable moving around his opponent. As Waddell now has him against the ropes and now letting go as he's trying to chop down his opponent. But is he backing off too quickly after getting Redmond in trouble?
Yes. Looks like he's giving it too much. It's a belt on the line. You want the 10 extra pounds or you don't.
Right now, it looks like Robert Redmond Jr. is doing more than enough.
He's handing him the belt. You might as well just give it to him now.
It's going to take something special for Waddell to get back into this fight. He doesn't look tired, but he doesn't look too excited to throw.
Right. No activity. He's inactive.
And now he's going to eat
got caught with a
right
good
hand for his
there.
troubles, and he's staggered. But Redmond doesn't jump on him after that either. And we come to the close of the round. Good action there at the end, especially for Redmond as he was able to land that right hook that staggered Waddell.
Open right hand.
And that's what you were talking about, though, that overhand right.
Yeah, he looped it this time. Instead of throwing it straight, he just looped it.
I was like, obviously, I'm never going to be as good as you. I'm never going to understand this fight game as well as you did. But you pointed that out, and that was something I remembered. And then he utilized it right there at the end.
Yeah. I seen it from the position he was in. The only way he can throw a right hand or land it is to loop it. And that's exactly what he did.
So now that we're more than midway through this fight, if you're Robin Redmond Jr., are you just basically playing keep away for the next 2 rounds and try to secure this victory?
The fight is still anyone's fight now. It's not a one-sided fight.
All right, still anyone's fight.
Because he's still there. He's still willing and able to fight. You know, now if he get in there and say he quit, that's a different story. But he's still willing and able to fight. He's able to throw punches as well.
But even you noted, Frank, he's not throwing enough.
No, he's not throwing enough.
And if you're Redmond and if you know your opponent's not going to throw enough, don't you think you can put it in a cruise control at this point?
That's what it takes for the trainer to get into his fighter's head. You got to pull it out of him. You got to almost say, hey, man, you want another L on your record? If you don't, go out here and take it and win these rounds. You got to just say the unbelievable things to him to make him believe it.
You spend all that time together. You know, these trainers know these fighters. They know what buttons to push.
Sometimes you got to say things you don't want to say to make your fighter understand. Now he's throwing a lot of punches. Look at that.
And as soon as you say that, he's now starting to connect.
He's throwing punches. You can't hit the guy if you don't throw punches. He punching you, but you ain't punching him.
Yeah, but Redmond answered right back very
That's not how we train. We didn't plan to fight this way. Good right hand. So you got to do more than you got to let his hands go. Let your hands go.
2 body shots with the right hand up top connected for Redmond, and he's able to breach the guard with that right cross. And there again, he goes.
Looping right hand.
He's able to loop his right hand around the guard.
Oh, yeah. Go right around that left hand.
And there he did again, delivers with that right cross. Like you mentioned, getting that lead left down and then answering with the right hand.
Now see, they have an A, a B, a C, and a D plan. And he's doing all of them. He's going through the whole the whole plan of letting those punches go.
You see,
but he has to be first. He has to be first. He can't sit there and just wait. So every now and then he'll wait on it. Then that's when he'll get caught with a punch.
Other than that, this has all been predicated off the tempo of Redmond.
Right.
And what he's brought to this fight. Again, with the ABO super lightweight title on the line, it has been Redmond. This is something that he's done to him before. That's the first time that we saw Waddell get himself out of trouble off of the ropes.
Right. First time he ever walked out off the ropes on his own. The referee didn't have to save him this time.
A couple of rounds ago, Guzman, the referee, had to, like you mentioned, save him from the pressure that he was taking. How much energy does that take away from you as a fighter when you're just laying against the ropes like that with the other guy smothering you?
Well, you're really not taking no energy away. You're getting a punishment. Your body's gonna get bruised. Your head gonna take punches. You just taking punches your body shouldn't take. Because you're not really moving, you're just laying on the rope. So you're not burning no energy, but you're absorbing punishment.
Come to the end of the round, Robert Redmond Jr. connecting on a couple of punches to end the round. And so far, it really does look like it's his fight to win as we come to the sixth and final round of this championship contest.
Uh-huh.
All right, so everything that they have told Antonio Waddell hasn't really come to fruition in the ring. It's round 6. He's probably behind on all the scorecards. What do you think his trainer's telling him now?
Son, you want to go out like this? This is the way you want to let this go? You just want to give him the belt? Well, go give it to him then. If you don't want to give it to him, show me in this last round you want that belt. This is where Coach got to get smart. He got to go in his bag of tricks and try to put this in his fight ahead. You ain't out to fight yet. You never out to fight until the fight is over with.
It's time to go deep in the bag of tricks if you got him.
Yes, sir.
The sixth and final round of this championship contest.
You heard of Houdini? Match man?
Yes,
It's time
I
to get matched.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Antonio Tarver.
Nah, I'm talking about this fight. He need to get matched. Put some magic in his hands. Let them hands go. It's the only way. That's the only way to make different things happen or occur in a fight is to let your hands go. Not gonna happen with your hands in your chest.
Waddle's got some good head movement. He has flurries where he shows promise like you're seeing right now, but he just hasn't been able to put it all together.
No, he hasn't. He only do it for a round in this. There you go, on the ropes again.
Exactly.
Back on the ropes.
Right where he's found himself for the majority of this fight. He's very fortunate that referee Ivan Guzman hasn't elected to stop this fight at any point in time.
Well, he's kind of giving the benefit of the doubt because it's a title fight. Most referees don't like to stop title fights unless it's really demanded, unless he's really hurt. Like that fight we saw, the kid got knocked out.
Yes.
Now that's when he should stop the fight. But a fight like this, the referee don't want to step in there and stop the fight because the guy's laying on the ropes.
Oh, definitely, but again, laying on the ropes and being inactive, it just makes it doesn't look good.
No, it doesn't look good at all. But if that's his style of fighting, and he's from H-Town and the referee know him a little bit, he might let him get away with it. That's why he helped him get off the rope.
And that's why he found himself here in the sixth and final round, despite some of the trouble he's been in. You do have to give him credit that he has not been in any real trouble.
No real trouble. Took a right hand here and there, and he gave one as well.
Exactly, he was able to stagger Redmond and make him respect at least some of his ability, but other than that, though, it's been Redmond and applying the pressure like you're seeing right now, where Waddell is just completely smothered, and finally, for the second time tonight, he gets himself out of trouble.
Right.
Maybe a little too late for that.
Yes. When Redmond hit him with a hook or a right hand, that's when the whole fight turns around. It changes his whole method of fighting. He goes on the rope again. Now he's back on the ropes.
Well, we noted that he looks like he came in great shape, but do you think maybe that has a stamina issue?
Well, probably wasn't doing enough running.
And with COVID, I can understand, like, there might be some issues in training. Might not be easy to get to the gym. Might have other things going on as well.
That's no excuse. You're fighting for a title. You're fighting for a belt in your own state. So you shouldn't have any excuse.
Clearly, Robert Redmond Jr. not making any excuses for his performance here tonight.
No, sir.
As
He showed up.
Exactly. Come in ready. He knew that he had to avenge that loss and knew that the belt was on the line, and he took it up another level this evening.
Yes, he did. And it looked well, and he's going to get crowned a belt. 10 more pounds on his waist.
And the pictures always look better with a little bling on, that's for sure. But a good fight, nonetheless, as Antonio Waddell, he withstood the punishment for all 6 rounds. He had a few bright spots, but again, just didn't do enough to really make his ability effective.
No. He didn't give enough effort. He was in the fight, but he wasn't, no effort at all.
Well, like you mentioned, He looked great. A lot of posing in the middle, a lot of head movement, but nothing returned.
Nothing at all. It's just like a bodybuilder. They all look good, but their heart is little as a peanut. All the muscles, but their heart is little as a peanut. Not all bodybuilders. I'm not saying all of them.
No, but I mean, that's the thing about professional boxing. Sure, you have an idea of how a professional boxer might look, but it doesn't necessarily mean that's what a professional boxer is going to be.
That's his performance. That's his outlook. No, that's not going to be the case.
Yeah, I mean, you just go and look through the heavyweight division recently. Somebody like Andy Ruiz, when he won his first title, that didn't look like a heavyweight champion.
No,
and then
sir.
you go back to somebody that people in Houston are very familiar with George Foreman, when he came out of retirement and won the heavyweight title. He didn't look like he was going to be a prime fighter in his 40s, but he still had the punching power.
He never lost it. Never lost it. See, George had a big hiatus from boxing, so he was able to come back and do what he did. And the timing was right. Michael Moore was champion at the time.
Exactly. You would think that maybe with the years, that the timing would have diminished a little bit, some rust, but he was one of those fighters able to shake it off.
He gave Holyfield a good run for his money.
Exactly.
Young Holyfield.
Somebody that he shouldn't have been
in the ring with.
Exactly.
And
that's why you can never really judge a book by its cover.
That's right.
Because you just never know.
You never know
what their true ability is.
That's right.
But tonight we know that Robert Redmond was the one that did more than enough to win this title. Will the judges see it the same way?
Same way. That's right.
As Jeremiah
we're
Gallegos,
about to find out.
I know that's what everybody is waiting to see. Who will walk away with the extra 10 pounds around their waist? Jeremiah Gallegos will have the judges' decision coming up for us.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the Arabia Shrine Center, live on NextFightUp.com pay-per-view. How about we give both of our fighters a big round of applause for tonight's championship contest. And now, at this time, we go to the judges' scorecards. Here are the totals. Judges, Ray Zaragoza and Alex Leon see the bout 60-54, and Judge Jenny Cardenas has the bout 59-55, declaring your winner by unanimous decision. And the new ABO Western Super Lightweight Champion, our Houston Hitman, Robert Redmond Jr.
I think it's safe to say, Frank, a well-deserved victory for Robert Redmond Jr. as the Houston Hitman did more work of the two to win this victory.
Well deserved. He earned it. He went out there, he put the work on, he showed the people he wanted the belt. Now he had the 10 pounds on his waist.
And then I see some of his training staff, some of his entourage coming around next to you celebrating because they're excited that their fighter has won this fight. And he put in a great